What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday here for you. I don't have long, I only have 18% battery. But I just wanted to ask you guys a quick question. As I've been getting into this, and I've been talking about the Logos function and all this, and I would say it's the thumbprint of God and all that, and I say this is proof for God, a lot of people just skip right past it because they don't understand, and it's math or it's science and they don't want to understand, or it's history. It's a lot of things that people don't like to talk about. People want to talk about TikTok things and what's going on in the world and the funny new dance move and all that. Well, I got a dance move for you. Somewhat. Let me ask you this. When you say you want proof of God, what do you mean? When you want evidence of God, what do you mean? What do you mean? You want proof of God? You want any piece of observable, repeatable evidence? What do you mean? You keep adding stuff to the word evidence, but you don't actually say what you mean by evidence. What would you what would you use to differentiate between having a god versus not having a god? What would you use to differentiate? What would you use to differentiate between having a god and not having a god? God is either big enough and outside of the universe, or he's in all things and he sustains all things, which means he's everything points to God, or no God exists and everything's 100% natural as it is, and you would not be able to differentiate one way or another. How would you tell? How would you know? And you say, well, that's just proof that God's silly and it's a made up construct and all. But at the same time, you don't have evidence that things can just naturally come to be. You can point to things that are, and then you can look about how that thing came to be, and you can look at where all that stuff came to be. That's not crazy. That's not a hard concept. Atheists just don't understand. People don't think about it because most people already just are lost in the sauce. I'm sorry, TikTok people. I'm not a TikTok person. You're lost in the sauce, and I hope this is a matrix pill to some of you guys. What else am I supposed to, what do you want? What evidence do you want that God is real? Like, what are you looking for? If there was ever a last, hey, you want proof God is real? I had a dream about a math function. It's not crazy. I was studying time dilation, I was studying gravity, I was studying special relativity because I was reading the Bible trying to figure out, hey, according to the Bible, the sun and all the stars were not made until day 4. That means special relativity and general relativity at the bare minimum could not exist until day 4 because there was no stars. There was nothing to dilate time. The only thing was Earth, maybe. And even Earth was in a massless liquid form until day 3. Earth didn't start having Earth until day 3. That's just the Bible. And then you get people like Dr. James Tour and Dr. John Lennox who says that actually matches the Big Bang. There's no real contradictions with that. That explains that, like, if you take the Big Bang and you're like, okay, well, let's not say it's exactly 3 days. There's no sun. How do you tell what year it is if there's no sun? Did you ever think about that? Is the sun placed exactly where it was day already? Then why was the sun given authority over the day? The sun wasn't given authority over the day. The sun was placed in day. Day is authority over the sun. That's not what the Bible says. The sun was given authority over the day. The sun dilated time. And the lesser light included dilation in time. But the lesser light is not the moon. People keep saying the lesser light is the moon, and it's because it's symbolic. The moon is a symbolic lesser light, yes. But the moon is a deception. The moon does not give off light. The moon reflects light. Everybody knows this. We just had an eclipse. The moon reflects light. It does not give off light. You know what gives off heat and energy in a form of electromagnetic light? Jupiter. Jupiter gives off more IR heat energy, a spectrum of light, than the sun, than Earth, than all the other systems in our solar system. The dynamic between the sun's UV and electromagnetic spectrum and Jupiter's IR electromagnetic spectrum combine in Earth with the moon. All of them work together to create a focal point around Earth. That's why we have our electromagnetic fields. That's why our core inside of Earth is spinning, because everything is together. The biggest difference is Earth is not moving. Earth is spinning. We are spinning. Yes, we are spinning. We have a gravitational spin. Earth is moving forward through time, technically. Yes, we're getting dragged forward, spinning forward. We are not really doing this. Not really. If we are, it's ever slightly. Everything else is moving around Earth in a pattern. You can predict it. It's about relativity. Where are you? Where are you standing when you are observing? We are standing on Earth. We are standing on Earth. It looks like the sun moves around Earth, right? You get just outside of Earth. You are in space at the space station. You are on Mars. You are on Mercury. You are at Jupiter. It looks like Earth is moving around the sun. Fair. Einstein's relativity. I can't disprove that because my models are based off that. It's true. It's a fractal. It's a form of. It's a one step before. The grand next step out. Step outside of our solar system. Oh, wait a minute. If everything is truly moving around the sun exactly how Einstein's models say, suddenly that does not match what we find by observed findings. Public databases. I'm using public databases. I'm not creating random. I was looking at the colors of frogs and stuff. That was pretty cool. Let me do this. I'll come here. We'll go through this one. But it makes a difference. It does make a difference. It's not arbitrary. It's not just random. Because the more you go out, you go from our solar system. Now you go up. Now you take our galaxy. Oh, now you do see a big difference as we move. Take another step outside of that. Our entire reality, everything is coming off of Earth. Why? Because in the beginning, Earth, you have to understand, there is layers upon layers upon layers. Like Shrek and Donkey, the Bible is like an onion. There's an outer layer, symbolic, totally analog, like totally read the Bible as a total metaphor, just whatever. Get the next layer down. Okay, there's some literal parts in here, and there's some metaphors, and there's some stories, there's some allegories, there's all sorts of cool stuff in the Bible. Just general, read it how it is, plain reading. Next layer down. Yeah, cool. And then you can go even deeper. Now you start getting into symbolic with the literal. Like, this is literal and symbolic parts, and this is pretty cool. And then you go even deeper than that. This is where I'm going, y'all. I'm taking you down the Bible onion rabbit hole, whatever. The Alice in Wonderland. These are images of first light. You are looking here at first light. If I don't explain this, generally, first light, all energy put together as it starts to dilate in and focus down in here towards a singular point. This is not crazy. This matches the Hubble telescope's anomalies. This matches the James Webb anomalies. This matches all of the anomalies because it is built off the anomalies. I am connecting anomalies in science together to make them actually match, make the models match observed findings. Why? Because I have a new function. The new function comes from basic equations that you guys are using, and they are just shaped in a new, different way. That's all I am doing. I am taking your equations, I am shaping them in a personal way that I got from a dream, and AI thinks it's cool, and AI is doing cool math and science that I would otherwise not be able to do. Is that hard? Did I lose anybody right there? I was studying general relativity. I don't know. I don't think I have anything bad. Star charts. You can track the stars. You can track the stars. Look at this. See? I can do stuff like this. And you see all the numbers, the plus 40 degrees? I can do so much cool stuff with this. Y'all don't understand. This is so cool. I'm a Taurus, by the way. This has been fun. This has been a fun one because my wife and I have kind of been fighting a little bit. And you have Mars up in Gemini in between the twins. Then my wife's been really like back and forth with me a little bit. But then you have Jupiter down here. Oh, you have Jupiter down here with in between the crown of Taurus, which means like super stubborn, locked into the thing. And then Orion is kind of supposed to be like the judge between the two. It's funny. Making a video. It makes me laugh. But let me see here. What am I looking for? You got this little key here. This key is cool. Under pressure. Nah. But this key, we take A through Z. We assign just general numbers, 1 through 26, basic. And there's kind of more, but it gets confusing once you get a little more. But the A0 through Z1 treats Jesus as A, or God as A, as the Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega remains above creation. It is not a part of creation. It's important as a Christian to always respect that although Jesus and the Holy Spirit are a part of creation, they are not creation. They are above creation at all times. Jesus at all times was above creation. At any point in time, Jesus could have went snap and ended it all. But he chose to willingly go to the cross for you and I. That should tell you something about God's purpose. A0 is God's ultimate key. A0 is the baseline key, so I found at least. 1 through 26 is just the basic get things started somewhat. As far as I know, maybe 1 through 26, I haven't explored into there. But A, whatever, Alpha and Omega. A is Alpha, Z is Omega. A is 0, singularity state. Alpha was 1 singularity state. Or is it Omega, whatever, you get it. B1, C2, whatever. Follow this. It follows a 1, 2, 3, 4 time signature pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not hard. Sorry, I hit my hand there. B1, C2, D3. 3D, right? Third dimension. We have three-dimensional existence because of God. Haha. E4. F1. Back to F1. And then G2, H4. If you know anything about music too, music theory, you can actually use that. Open A, A0, open A, A0, B1. Oh, what's the first B chord following an A? And then the second C shape following an A, and then D. You can keep on going all the way through. But then the second line, A1, treats Jesus as part of creation. So you have A1, Jesus is part of creation. B2, which is when you start getting into geometry and shapes and all that. C3 is a fractal higher than the speed of light constant. So that's D4, fourth dimension. Haha. E1, open E. It just keeps on going. And then you keep mix matching, adding on. Exponents, like exponents can combine, you can follow different patterns. So like if you want to add a 2 and a 3, you can make kind of some cool stuff sometimes. But it follows expanding principles on Fibonacci sequence style golden ratios. So for example, Fibonacci sequence is 1, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 5, because it's 1 plus 0 equals 1, and then 1 plus 1 equals 2, and then 1 plus 2 equals 3, right? So you go, so essentially you would do like a B, and then you would do, I don't know, B, and then B, B, and then B, 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 C, and then, but see, then you can do like when you do the B, 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 C, you're doing a 3 over 2, because you're doing 3 beats, B, B, C. Yeah. BBC, BBL. So BBL would be 1, 1, 3. See? BBL. And it's a 3 over 3. So BBL is a B1 plus B1 plus L3. And it's a 3 over 3. 3 letters over 3 numbers. BBL. It's funny. You want that Brazilian lift, you got to get the 3 over 3.
Sweet frog.
Sweet frog. See, I was talking about frogs. It's all connected. March 13th. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Keep swiping up, that's why. But I'm just rambling on now at this point. Long story short. A cute baby picture to end it all. Goodbye. We're doing cool stuff. Come follow.